The public hearing is now called to order at 6:01. The hearing is being held as required by the provisions of Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth, an act relative to the protection of the wetlands as most recently amended. Notice of the time and place of this hearing was published in the Fairhaven Neighborhood News on July 5th, 2025. It was also posted in the town's clerk office. This meeting is being audio and videotaped. Persons wishing to be heard will be called in the following order. I'd like to entertain a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open the meeting.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Minutes for approval? Still none. Mark, any meeting mail?
No.
Okay. Old business? Okay. Continued public hearing, NOI Stormwater, White's Farm Dairy Incorporated, 211 Middle Road, maps 23, lots 29, lots 29A and 29B. SE 0010596. A notice of intent in stormwater application was filed by Zachary Fox, Middle Road, Acushnet Solar LLC, for property located at 211 Middle Road, map 23, lots 29, 29A, and 29B. The applicant proposes to construct a ground-mounted solar array on a portion of the open fields within the property located at 211 Middle Road in Acushnet. Work is limited to the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland and bank. The applicant is represented by Sarah Stearns and Peels in Thomas Incorporated. Plan name is Middle Road PV Solar Development, dated September 10, 2024. Reviews of matters presented. Votes may be taken. I'd entertain a motion to continue the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
That was agreed upon between both parties.
So we had a continuation, they're looking for a continuation. They didn't get everything back to Bill Madden. Everything is looking very well though, I'm just gonna say that. But they still gotta get us the revised plans, there's a couple things going on, so that's why we are gonna continue it to the 25th?
To June 25th.
To June 25th. With that, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue this till June 25th meeting.
I'll make a motion to continue to June 25th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Continued public hearing, request for an amended order of condition, applicant Sankapa Park Drive LLC, owner White's Farm Incorporated, off Park Drive, SE 0010553. A request for an amendment to an existing order of conditions was filed by Sankapa Park Drive LLC for property located off Park Drive, map 17, lot 22B, point 13. The applicant proposes to install a solar photovoltaic array consisting of 4,999 kilowatts and battery storage project within the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland. Revisions include wetland crossing areas and wetland flagging. The applicant is represented by Matthew Connors of Weston and Sampson Engineering. Plan name is Park Drive Solar PV Development, dated December 10, 2020. Revised plans dated March 2025. Review of matters presented. Votes may be taken. Continued to June 25th, 2025. Pending receipt of additional information. I'd like to entertain a motion that we continue the public hearing.
Motion to continue this public hearing.
Do I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Then I would like to entertain a motion that we continue this to June 25th, 2025, pending receipt of additional
You just
information.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What am I doing?
We're good.
Okay. Next. Continued public hearing, NOI Stormwater Acushnet Company, 4 Slocum Street, SE 0010604. A notice of intent was filed by Acushnet Company for property located at 4 Slocum Street, map 25, lot 24. The applicant project is to implement a comprehensive remedial action plan, which includes excavation and stabilization, removal impact soils from the property and wetland resource area. The applicant is represented by Kyle Paganini of Wooden and Karen Incorporated. Plan name is Site Plan for Slocum Street, dated April 2025. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken. I'd like to entertain a motion to continue the public hearing.
Motion to
Wait,
continue.
Oh,
can
what?
we continue it,
After?
no, continue it to another date or continue it just to out of order?
I thought we were going for it right now.
No,
Put it out of order.
okay, well, good.
Why? We could have still done it. We only have a 5-board member. We can do it, we can vote even if Eric wasn't here. So,
Okay.
going forward, we only have a 5-board member.
I didn't-
So, with
A 5-member board.
A 5-member board. With only a 5-member board, that makes 3 parties can still do a vote on this board. 2 of them have turned in their resigned letters. Talking to the attorney, it becomes a 5-member board. Therefore, even down to 3, as long as we have 3 to vote.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I thought we
Yep.
discussed that
Yep,
this
and that's why I was going to continue.
Okay.
Majority, okay.
I learned something just now.
Yep, so with that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue the public hearing.
For the reason being,
I'll move to continue the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Why,
What do you mean?
why are we continuing this?
The continued public hearing, the opening of the public hearing.
Opening.
You're open.
Oh, I'm sorry, to open the continued public hearing.
Right,
so move.
yeah.
Do I get a second?
I'll second that, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly, it's yours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were bringing anybody.
Yeah,
Because we were
Mr.
discussing,
Epegian.
yep.
Mr. Epegian is here, right?
Sorry about that, gentlemen. I got a little confused by that creation.
I need sugar.
You were saying, yeah, not to continue. Sorry about that. We do have that tripod. Do you want it?
You know what? I think this will work.
Oh, okay.
Maybe?
Yeah. Sure.
Everybody can see it.
I gotta go back to my little notes again.
You engineers are so crafty.
Okay, so I'm Kyle Acushnet from Woodard and Curran, here representing the Acushnet Company for this project taking place at 4 Slocum Street. Presented on this at the May 14th meeting. Again, I know not all the members were here at that time, so I can give a brief.
Can we turn them?
Would you prefer to have this? Just want to make sure everybody can see it. Yeah. I don't know that there's a way that everyone can see it perfectly, but, so this is just to give a little bit of background about the site and the project. It's a soil excavation project and soil treatment project that's taking place under the Massachusetts contingency plan to address concentrations of metals and petroleum carbons and other contaminants in site soils. It's about excavating the impacted soils that are shown on this map here. They're shown in the magenta areas, the numbered magenta areas, and access from Slocum Street would be to the north here.
I don't have the special notice.
The Acushnet River is to the west of the site here. There are bordering vegetated wetlands, a Phragmites swamp located in this portion of the property, and a small amount of the work would take place. It's about 400 square feet within the bordering vegetated wetlands. A larger portion of the work area, which the work area is in the red here. Larger portion of the work area is within the 100-foot buffer zone. None of the work area is within the salt marsh, although the 100-foot buffer of the salt marsh extends into the property.
That number 6 doesn't represent an area in the marsh there? Number 6?
Number 6. No, this is just outside.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
so the salt marsh, the border of the salt
Is
marsh
there?
is this light
Okay.
blue line. It's
I
just
got you.
outside.
Gotcha, very good.
Mhm.
Is that in the back of gift to gives?
Yes.
Yes.
The work area itself has been optimized to the extent practical, be as far outside of any of the resource areas as possible. I guess I do have a couple of others here that show the other resource areas, so. This figure shows the riverfront area, the 200-foot riverfront area is shown on this map as well. Associated with Acushnet.
I'm happy to hold that, so you don't have to, you
Sure.
don't have to, like, try to.
There's,
So there's, yeah, and there's an easel over there.
yeah, well, hold it, that's great.
Yeah, you can talk to it. yeah.
Sure. And so I'll just flip to the next one as well.
Round two.
Just to show the, flip this one. This figure shows the land subject to coastal storm flowage and the coastal bank. Coastal bank is located along the western portion of the site here. Again, that's outside of the work area. And then there's small portions of the 100-foot, the 100-year flood zone that are within small portions of the work area here and down here.
I got one question. Where's gifts to give?
Gifts.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
building,
right there,
yeah.
yeah,
See the
it's
building?
it's off
At the top.
Yeah, it's just off the photo a little bit,
Off,
right at the
okay.
top.
That's
yeah.
the back entrance to it, right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I live across the street, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, gifts to give.
You're in a butt.
Okay.
I got
Yeah, that's
that.
the,
Flip that to this other.
Is your meeting or?
What's that?
I said, this is a meeting, right?
Yeah.
Did I finish talking?
It's perfectly fine, yeah. So all of the work, any of the work that takes place, whether it's site clearing, access roads, the excavation areas, everything's going to be restored to the existing grade, so there's no change in flood storage on the site, no change in topography. It's all temporary impacts. Just to point out a few of the other site features that are planned here, it does require access to these various excavation areas, so we've designed the layout of these access roads to be as small as possible to access these different excavation areas here. And there is one small excavation area up here in the paved area as well. This is a material management area, again, designed to be outside of the flood zone. That's an area where we'll be managing the wet soils that come, some of the soils that are coming out of the excavation areas are below the water table, so they need to be placed here for drying, and in some cases, in most cases, the soils are going to be transported off-site for landfill disposal. In certain cases, some of the soils are going to be mixed with a stabilizing agent and then returned to the excavations. And that's, the purpose of that is to prevent leaching of metals and other contaminants into the groundwater. So all of this is part of the remedial. I'm going to actually just sit this down. Yeah, no, that's great. So if you have any other questions, we can speak to that. But all this work has been planned and designed under the Massachusetts contingency plan, under the administration of a licensed site professional. This work's also undergone oversight from EPA under the River Cleanup Program as well. So these excavation areas have all been designed based on a really extensive array of soil testing that's taken place over the past several years. So the limits of those excavation areas have been defined in advance and have been documented as part of all of our site cleanup reporting. What else? Protective measures. So the plan is to have a double row of silt fence and straw wattles around all the areas where the work is going to be taking place throughout the extent of soil disturbance. There'll also be oil absorbent booms, which I know was a recommendation of the commission members, and I think came out as part of the site walk. So those oil absorbent booms can be added to areas where there's potential, for anything to spread into the resource areas. And then the other special conditions, the draft ones that we've seen, there were the oil absorbent booms, the notification to the Conservation Commission at the start of work. So that will be done. And also the commission wanted to see the quarterly groundwater data because after this work is complete, in order to close out the site, there will be quarterly groundwater monitoring done from the monitoring wells that are on the site. So that is that's the basis of the work and the general background of the site. If there's any questions, I'm happy to.
Mr. Chairman,
Right ahead.
what is the duration of the monitoring, the quarterly monitoring? What's the duration of that?
It's a year.
Just 1 year? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Kyle, has National Heritage been involved in this project at all?
Have they been involved in what way?
Have they put an eye on this project? Have they been notified in any way, shape, manner?
The area is not within the natural heritage.
I can still ask questions,
Okay.
right? I'm not voting, I'm recusing myself from voting because I do work for the Acushnet company. But I do have the right to still ask questions and give input.
From a public standpoint.
Sure. It's not within a rare species area.
Okay.
It's not within any of the mapped rare species areas.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
now, you were saying that these are contaminated soils, correct?
Correct.
When they were tested, how far off the levels of criteria that they're supposed to passable is? How far off were they? Were they like extremely off or?
They're at levels that pose a potential risk to human health or the environment, which is when they're above those criteria, there needs to be some sort of action taken to reduce concentrations at the site so that there's not a risk. That's really the goal, and that's the goal of the MCP and sort of the jurisdiction that this is under. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you extreme or barely, but all of that work is taking place under the LSP's supervision. So the risk assessment that was completed, the amount of cleanup that needs to happen, and the disposition of the soils once they're excavated and disposed of off-site, that's all been done under the LSP's jurisdiction.
The only reason I'm bringing it to concern is because I know a lot of the soils are coming out from that area, but the way you have the leaching area located is really relatively close to the Acushnet River there. If it's a high contaminant, if it's really high level, would there be any possibility of moving the leaching area away a little more or something like that?
Are you talking about the material management area?
Yeah, right, because you said you're gonna excavate from some of these areas,
Correct.
and then you're gonna mix a solution with some of them to get the levels down.
Correct.
And then the higher leveled soils, you're proposing to put in this management area to have it leach off to dry to have hauled off-site.
This area is going to be burned, so there's going to be, and burned and controlled with erosion and sedimentation controls, so there's going to be no chance of free liquids moving off of this area.
Okay, so that's gonna be
And also
burned.
burned, yeah.
Burned,
Yeah,
burned.
It was all discussed at the site visit.
Yeah.
It'll be contained.
Yeah, so this is all going to be entirely contained and covered as necessary. And there'll be contingency plans in place if there's any potential for large storms, flooding, that type of thing. And this area is outside. This is I know it's hard to tell on here, but this is topographically slightly higher than these areas around the outside of the site. So there's limited areas on the site in which to work, that don't impinge further on some of these other resource areas, so it's a bit of a balancing act.
Yeah, I know, I was just seeing the.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Page, but that's all.
Go ahead, Christian.
How soon do you anticipate executing the work upon approval? Out of curiosity. Do you have a timeline?
We're
Mr.
hoping to have the work done this summer.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's so, and
Very good.
it's, the actual work, you know, we're talking on the order of weeks to actually do the, you know, the active portion of the work, not including preparation and staging and
Sure.
clearing and then
Fencing.
restoration and
Yeah.
so forth. It's not a large volume.
No, I don't, right, I realize, I'm just curious.
And then the other thing, getting back to you, Eric, it was stated on the site visit by Andrea that they are putting plastic below, above,
Yes.
over the soil, so that will be very well contained, the site visit. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, so I don't know if you can speak to the amount of scrutiny this has undergone, and I know there's a long history. I think you presented it some of it last time, but this MCP, it's from Resource Conservation Recovery Act. I think that's where that flows from. But it's, I don't know, this is EPA has been.
Yeah, if I can speak to that for a little bit. This is the culmination of about.
Mr. Keller, if you don't mind, we'll go to the podium.
Oh, sure.
If you don't mind.
No, not at all. Kevin Kelly, the Director of Regulatory Affairs for Acushnet Company. I've been intimately involved with the site for the last 17, 18 years. So this is really the culmination of 17 years of investigation. We've got over 300 soil borings in that property, probably close to, I don't know how many sample analytical points that it represents, but it's, you know, well over 600-700. It's been, all that data has been through third-party validation to make sure it's accurate and good data to use, scientifically sound. All that has gone to DEP and EPA. EPA especially has taken very intensive scrutiny of every single data point, and we've quite often had to go back and get more data for EPA. And that's been going on for 17 years. So when we say we have the contamination defined by the nature and extent, we really do have it defined. We know exactly where that contamination is and how deep we have to go and what the bounds are. So it's been really thoroughly investigated. I just want you to feel comfortable with that.
Any questions from the commission? Any questions from the public?
I was just curious where it was happening. All the work's actually being done.
If you're gonna talk, John, you gotta go to the podium. Set it right there, John. Make sure you smile.
John Goldis, 7 Slocum Street, Acushnet. I'm a resident across the street. I was just curious. I believe that's all behind where that little building is. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, those
thought.
back out buildings
Backed out.
there.
I was just curious where it was with the location, because I couldn't really see the project.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
I don't
see.
have a problem.
Yeah. All right, young man.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the public? So with that going said, I know that you mentioned some of the special conditions, and we also have other special conditions which are in the standard conditions. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read them all off so the public knows exactly what we have. So in the standard conditions, as a commission, we automatically put this into the standard conditions. It says erosion control inspection, on-site meeting with contractor within 5 days prior to construction. Site visit from agent at end of construction. No stockpiling of materials, no equipment stored, no refueling, no portable toilets, or wash out from concrete in the buffer zone. Okay. That being said, now we're going to go to the special conditions. Special condition number 1, erosion measures for areas designated as 5, 7, and 8 shall include staked straw wattles, properly installed siltation fencing, and oil absorbents. The oil absorbent will be in front of the wattles. Another name for them is pigs. Number 2, once all erosion control measures are in place, the applicant shall contact the conservation agent and the Conservation Commission to schedule a follow-up inspection to ensure that the erosions are in place and properly installed. The inspection shall happen prior to the beginning of the remedial work site. 5 days is what we're looking for. I'm not saying we're going to use the 5 days, but it gives us a chance to get there. We are all volunteers. The applicant shall provide copies of any final or interim reports given to the town of Acushnet related to the project and its outcomes. The applicant shall provide the Conservation Commission and the agent with specific details related to the containment system employed by the vehicles that will be used to transport materials off-site for disposal. As far as the vehicles, we would like to know if they are doing plastic lined, if they have the plastic line, and we would like to know where it's going. I know you guys don't know yet, but when you do, if you can give us a heads up, that would be well approved. So, with that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion that the order of conditions are favored going forward and are approved.
I'll-
You say motion, Eric?
No, no.
I'll move,
I was trying to understand your motion.
I'll make that motion.
Do I get a second? To accept the order of conditions, Eric?
Correct.
I couldn't really understand what you said,
Oh, okay.
that's all.
Yep. So we got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
I abstain.
Aye. All set, Mr. Kelly?
That's approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In the motion, you didn't say nothing about the special order of conditions.
What's that?
Thank you all.
Excuse me,
I
Eric?
didn't hear you saying anything about the special order of conditions in the motion.
I read them all off prior to the motion.
Yeah, but you didn't, we'll go over it after.
Did I do it correctly?
Just
Yeah.
do a new motion.
You're all
if you
set.
want.
Okay. Public hearing, after the fact RDA Kathleen DeBarros, 56 Hathaway Road. An after the fact request for determination was filed by Kathleen DeBarros for property located at 56 Hathaway Road. Map 14, Lot 4C, the work consists of the removal of historic fill piling using an excavator and dump trucks. Plan name is Sewage Disposal System Repair Plan. Site plan for Hathaway Road dated January 19, 2022. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken.
Mr. Chairman, I recuse myself from this issue.
Go right ahead, young man. Do I have anything from the commission?
No, I think everything was satisfactory in regard to the site visit. It appeared that they were heading in the right direction.
Okay.
The models were in place. I mean, the work has been ongoing, and hopefully that gets completely rectified.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone from the public?
Can I ask just one quick question?
Go ahead.
Why is it labeled as a sewage disposal? The sewage, the name of it.
So I was asking the same question, and I guess that's the name on your original, or your mother's plans? Is that what the name of the original plans is?
I don't believe so.
No, I wouldn't think so.
The plan you gave me, Eric, was from the Board of Health septic design
Oh,
that you took and you wrote on it. Remember, we were in the
I took
office
a
and...
section of it off.
Right, so I had to put something there so anybody can refer to, DEP or whomever was looking at what you copied and what we threw into that file. It was just an excerpt from that filing. I mean, if you want me to change it to sketch, Is that what you want to change it to?
I know, I was confused because.
So was I, and we looked into it, and it's because you used the septic drawing,
The Board of Health.
and it said it, so we had to just go with that, but it's no big deal.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
RDA. With that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion for a negative determination.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All set?
That's what it said on that drawing.
Yeah. Okay, new business, public hearing, NOI, Joe Costello, lot 11, Park Drive, SE 0010605. A notice of intent was filed by Joseph Costello for property located at lot 11, Park Drive, map 17, lot 84. The applicant proposes to construct a single-family dwelling with associated septic system, drainage, grading, and utilities. The applicant is represented by Jamie Bissonette of Zenith Consulting Engineering, LLC. Plan name is Subsurface Sewage Disposal System New Construction. Dated April 15, 2025. Review of matter presented, votes may be taken. I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Bissonette, it is all yours, sir.
Jamie.
Good evening, Jamie
Hello.
Bissell, Zenith Consulting Engineers, for the record. Before you tonight, we have a notice of intent for lot 11 and 12. I know we're doing, I believe it's 11 first. We're proposing a single-family dwelling, associated septic system, water connection, driveway, grading, and utilities on this lot. Met with some of the members and the agent on site over the weekend for a site walk. As discussed, or as explained by me, the site will have a turtle protection plan in place as requested by Natural Heritage. The site will be set up with erosion controls with an inspection prior to by the commission and the agent. And we will also be staking out limit of clearing, proposed foundation, et cetera, during and as built in, as needed. Happy to answer any questions the commission or audience has.
Do we have any questions from the commission? Eric, any questions?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. So, go right ahead, Mark.
So this is, I know, well, this is for one lot. And then-
Yep, number 11.
And then we have number 12. And do you have any, this isn't very material, but is there any kind of a schedule for the rest of the development?
Do you mean beyond this lot?
Yeah, these two lots.
Yeah, so-
Just overall for the,
Yeah, so they're working on the drainage basins, I think as we've inspected. I believe they're trying to get the fabric for basin number 2. They have the liner, but they're looking at getting the fabric for the construction of it. They're correcting some issues with fill material on site as discussed, and overall they're working on the general construction of the road and the drainage.
and the NOI expires, I'm sorry, in November?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. I want to make one clarification. This is lot 11. We did not get the letter from Natural Heritage yet, and I think I told you guys that on our site walk. They gave us the letter for 12, which is requiring a turtle protection plan, and we believe it's going to be the same. We mailed both out the same day. One got there after 2 days, the other one took 30 days to get there through tracking. So just in all, catching myself saying that we were good, we're not, with 11, we don't have Natural Heritage approval yet, but I do expect it in the next couple of weeks.
Most likely the same response, right?
I would be
Yeah.
shocked if it was anything but.
Right.
Could you say that loudly again, Eric?
I was asking Heidi, we are on 11, right?
Yes, we're on 11 right now.
11,
Well, I mean, I felt satisfied with what we looked at on Saturday. The only issue was, the siltation and the delineation to be reviewed. And again, like you said, as you mentioned, the extent of the clearing that will be done.
Yes.
I mean, I think I would like to review that prior to commencing any work?
Well, we're gonna do I'll be reading it off in special conditions regarding the 5 days. So once you get the silk fence up, that's gonna exactly tell us where everything is.
Yes.
From the silk fence, we should be able to see the wetland flags, so just make sure those are up. So when we do our site visit for the 5 days, everything is there and we get to see everything. I know you've already sent guys out there to put the flags back up. We didn't go trucking through the woods to go look for them on Saturday, of course, and it's like, why not just do it all in one site, right?
I agree.
Yep.
Makes sense.
The other thing is, now, this will be coming back in front of stormwater, correct?
No, stormwater's done. What we do have to get, when the bond situation is done, I guess the board has to actually issue it, but it's been approved, it's just
Okay.
pending the bond.
Yeah,
Right.
I know there was something about that, and that's why I kind of brought it up, and just to
I
see.
appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep.
So everything did really look good, it was really a nice site visit. So with that being said, I'm gonna entertain a motion that for Lot 11, the order of conditions get approved, including the special condition, which I am gonna read off right now.
Mr. Chair, if I can interrupt, I think you're supposed to open it to the audience first.
Anyone in the public? I saw there was very few. Yeah, I know, and I understand, thank you. So I will read off the special conditions that we do have on this, Jamie.
Yes.
And it's one of our standard conditions now, even though it's the special condition we're adding. Erosion control inspection, on-site meeting with contractor within 5 days prior to construction. Site visit from agent at end of construction. No stockpile of materials, no equipment stored, no refueling, no portable toilets or washouts from concrete in the buffer zone.
Okay.
With that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion that the order of conditions are approved, including a special order.
So moved.
Do I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Eric?
Abstain.
Okay. Now, next, public hearing, NOI Joe's Costello, Lot 12, Park Drive, SE 0010606. A notice of intent was filed by Joe's Costello for property located at Lot 12, Park Drive, Map 18, Lot 18. The applicant proposes to construct a single-family dwelling with associated septic system, drainage, grading, and utilities. The applicant is represented by Jamie Bissonette of Zenith Consulting Engineering, LLC. Plan name is Subsurface Sewage Disposal System, New Construction. Dated April 15, 2025. Review of matters presented. Votes may be taken. I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Do I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, good evening, Jamie Bissonette, for the record again, Lot 12, Deep Brook Estates, Park Drive. The exact same thing as the last hearing. We have a proposed single-family house with associated septic, roof drain system, driveway, grading, landscaping. We met on site, discussed the same things. We're comfortable with the same conditions and happy to answer any questions that you have on this filing as well.
Anyone have any questions on lot number 12?
No, I'd say I have the same.
And they talked about the turtle thing.
Mhm.
You said they go in and they're gonna stake that out first before anything.
So-
What are they gonna-
On previous turtle protection plans, what they typically will do is they'll encompass the site with silt fence to make sure that turtles can't wander in front of it. They call it turtle fence, but it's the same as silt fence, turtle fence, it's a barrier. Then, depending upon the condition, they may do a sweep on the inside to see if there were any prior to construction. We're presently working with Dan Wells of LEC for doing the turtle protection plan here.
So they'll do that before.
Oh, yeah, before a shovel goes into the ground on those lots, those will be done. And
After
then,
the flagging of the property or?
no, actually, what we would probably do is get Dan to agree to everything first, and as requested, we'll send you any type of material that we have and approvals with that, and then, as long as we get the go-ahead from Dan and from Natural Heritage, that's when the stake out will happen. Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anyone from the public? All right, so for lot 12, I am going to read you special conditions. It says here, erosion control inspection, on-site meeting with contractor within 5 days prior to construction, site visit from agent at end of construction, no stockpiling of materials, no equipment stored, no refueling, no portable toilets, or washouts from concrete in the buffer zone. And it also says in the standard conditions, within the standard conditions that I wanted to mention. Oh, zero clearing until the silt fence is up.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you and I talked about it on the site. We did have someone that cleared their whole lot before putting the silt fence up because they said it's easier. But I just wanted to make sure, and it is a standard condition, it doesn't need to be on a special condition.
No, understood.
So with that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion that we approve the standard conditions and the special conditions for lot 12 at Park Drive.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Abstain.
All right, thank you. Appreciate your time tonight.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim.
Can we,
Go ahead.
back to this surety for stormwater? At some point, can we talk? Because we spent a whole lot of time trying to work with the applicant, trying to help resolve that issue. So at some point, it would be good maybe if we can
Yeah,
chat as well.
If that's okay, I'm happy to come and sit down with you.
Yeah, definitely, let's set up a meeting and maybe either Christian and I together or just one of us, who's ever available, we can sit down. And then, once again, right, when you sit down and you talk about things, it makes you learn for the future.
Sure.
Right? So I know that we had a little bit issue in the beginning with the surety and everything else, and so I think, Mark, that's a great idea if we can sit down and just have a little talk regarding that. It would be, and that has nothing to do with the order of conditions.
No, I appreciate that. Next
Yeah.
week, I'm
Yeah.
around, so.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. That is a good one.
Thanks, Mark.
Go ahead. Oh, I'd like to entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Did I close lot 11?
No. Yeah, you can do it now.
Okay.
Closed 11. No, so close 11.
Yep. I'd like to entertain a motion that we close the public hearing for lot 11 at Park Drive.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, discussion. Cushing Lane, Lot 2, update, review of matters presented, votes may be taken. With that being said, I will be recusing myself from this one.
Cushing Lane, Lot 2, update, review of matters presented, votes may be taken.
This is just a discussion?
Yes.
Correct. Discussion.
What is this?
Vice Chair, so if I may, so I just, this was, these documents that I just passed out, were forwarded to you from, I believe, yesterday, day before. And these are from the applicant, or not the applicant, wrong word, the property owner. So, so that's what is before you there. It's, and I don't know if people have had a chance to review that or not. It's, we can, if we want to have the discussion, I just wanted to explain what it was you're looking at there, that went via email, but now you have a hard copy for the discussion.
Mr. Vice Chairman, if I could. So Mark, this is a proposal of site work for what's possibly going to take place from the homeowner, or is this?
So this, and we have, and I may be getting ahead of the discussion here. That came from a representative of the Gomes. That's the stormwater, but also I know that, I believe Mike Koska, the engineer, went out and calculated land disturbance on the site. and says that it's less than 40,000 square feet. So that's one of the things we've been discussing.
Right.
And the other is wetland resource areas or buffer zones. So I thought I'd made copies for everybody, but after I received this, I also reached out to Alex Weisheit on the phone, but also sent him an email. All the commission members are copied on this one, the email, and I believe he replied to all that. Basically, in response to my questions. I'm kind of getting ahead of, in my email, I give my advice and opinion on this particular matter. But if the commission wants to hear my advice in the meeting, I'm happy to restate it. But I don't want to preempt any discussion that the commission feels needs to take place.
So just,
You may not agree with me, I'm just.
Mr. Vice Chairman, if I could, so Mark, for clarifications on this case, this is the case that we were forbidden to walk on for a site visit,
That's
correct?
Yeah.
21 Cushing.
21,
Lot 2.
okay. Just, so, not just us, but the public as well, and anybody watching knows what we're
Thank you.
discussing.
Thank you,
Is, okay?
thank you.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Vice Chair?
Yes, Eric.
All right, so don't take it the wrong way, but in what relevance is any of these two to how to make an educated decision? How could anybody make an educated decision on this?
No, I can't.
Well, that's probably.
Even on the emails, you can't hold a ruler up and measure anything. This is not the scale.
So, regarding what the information you said came from the engineer,
Right.
do you have that in writing?
I have an email, it was forwarded by Nancy Carroll to me.
Yeah.
Do we have a full-size printed out plan?
Do we have full-size?
I mean, I don't,
I can't, I'm sorry,
I
I just
can't.
can't make an
no,
educated.
I can't make heads or tails of this, as it's presented, I gotta say, it's not. And who presented this?
This came,
from a lawyer,
this
right?
came to me
From,
Nancy Carroll's, and it went to her, I believe,
Through our attorney.
through Attorney Marsh. And I'm not completely, to be honest, the genesis of where this all came from. My understanding is Mike Costco drew up these plans. They retained him to go out and evaluate. Given that they're here on the agenda, the commission's agenda, Mike went out and calculated the area of disturbance.
So has this been stamped and certified from an engineer?
Wasn't this whole thing advised to be taken off the agenda?
no, it wasn't, no, the last discussion we had was the town council and the owners council were gonna meet. Did that ever occur? Sure. That's why you're on the agenda.
So, Jim Marsh, I represent the owners of 21 Cushing Lane. We were here last time, and the commission did express concerns, and the concern that was stated was that the issue of the land disturbance, the tree clearing, whether or not it triggered your town's stormwater bylaw. That's my understanding.
That's the only issue?
There wasn't an issue with wetlands?
No.
Just strictly the town's...
Not as far as I know.
Wetland bylaw, which requires a stormwater permit to be applied for if there's 40,000 square feet of land disturbance. We had our professional land surveyor, engineer, calculate the area of land disturbance.
Okay.
The
Has
plan,
he documented that?
he went out and calculated the area in the field.
Yeah.
The survey, or the site design plan that you have there, the area which he's highlighted here, it's not shown on there, is highlighted. He quantified as 35,282 square feet. He also sent me a letter explaining how he determined that, and he stamped it, which I will provide tomorrow. So we went out of our way to address the concerns of the commission. I spoke with council and expressed, or explained what we would do to address the concerns that we had talked about at the last meeting. He thought this was completely appropriate, and when I showed him what we had, actually Mark showed him what our engineer, land surveyor, professional land surveyor had done to calculate that, he's satisfied that it wasn't triggered, and this discussion shouldn't really go any further.
I thought I also read something that was, I'm like 90% sure. I read an email saying that it was advised that we took this off the agenda.
Yeah, we've asked you to take it off the agenda because
that was
a further
our
issue.
Who was it from?
That was from the
The
owner.
requested that.
Yeah,
Or
that was from the
I
owner.
should say.
Okay.
That's been their position since we started looking into this situation, since we got the complaint.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, if you feel that everything is accurate, would you consider a peer review by another engineer to?
No.
No.
We're working with it. We've paid the engineer, we've surveyed it, we've calculated, we've provided you the information. We're not even in an application process. We're not looking for a permit.
Does anybody
There's
have
no
a rule in
enforcement
here?
that's been brought here.
That's,
Look,
Joanne, you got a rule?
Anybody need a rule up?
That's not-
you're calling into question,
Mr. Vice Chairman, if I may.
yeah, go ahead.
This isn't even stamped or certified, okay? And I don't think it's a fair thing to put us in a position to even be looking at this, where it's not stamped and certified by a professional. That's what they do.
It's not in our jurisdiction. If it's outside of a wetland buffer zone, and it's under 40,000 square, hold on, let me finish. If it's under 40,000 square feet, it's outside of the wetland buffer zone, it is not in our jurisdiction. All they need is a regular building permit.
We don't know any of the above because we have not been there to make a site visit.
But we don't need to, it's not in our
It's not a
jurisdiction.
concern.
Well,
I'm not comfortable with,
that's presented to
just,
us. If those are not met, if it's under 40,000, and it's not in a wetland buffer zone, it's out of the conservation jurisdiction.
Thank you, Mr. Barros, that's exactly right.
No, I'm not
If
comfortable.
we're gonna keep
It
going.
doesn't matter if you're comfortable, the facts are facts.
I don't see the facts, Eric.
Right here, take this ruler, measure it.
That's.
And it says, your scale's right there, it says 1 inch is 40 feet. So you take your measurements, measure them, write them down, you take them, you can square them off, calculate them, and it'll give you the square footage. If it's under 40,000 square feet, which they are presenting, I don't see why they would lie about the whole issue, then it's not our jurisdiction. It doesn't matter how we feel, the law is the law. We're supposed to be obtaining and withholding, and
This is a stormwater issue, Eric.
not if it's under 40,000 square feet.
That's correct. Well, I'm not satisfied that it is, to be honest with you. I'm not.
Well, you don't hold power like that. Well, what power do you think you hold? We don't hold that.
Well, thank you, Mr.
I
Yeah. Look.
don't feel you're proving your case.
We don't need to prove our case. We've already decided that the square footage isn't 40,000 square feet, so we don't need to come to you for a permit. There's no enforcement being brought against us.
I don't understand why, I don't understand that why you're not open
Less than
to
47.
further review then. I don't understand.
We're gonna pay for peer review? Of course not. Look, we have to keep coming here you know, I gotta come, she's coming, we've already paid for an engineer, someone's paying for those fees, it's not gonna be us anymore. We've proven, we've had an engineer go out. He's proven that this is less than 40,000 square feet, there's no trigger, we don't need a stormwater management permit. It's done. When we disturb 40,000 or more, we'll be back in front of you.
Prior to.
We're not here lying to you that this calculation is less than 40,000.
Mr. Marsh, so you said you have a letter that's stamped. If that's, I just want to make a suggestion here.
No.
So Attorney Marsh has said that he has a letter from the land surveyor engineer.
I do.
That is stamped, that's, if you mentioned you were going to send that.
I will provide it to you, but we're not coming back anymore. This explains how we found 35,000, and that's a done deal. I'll provide it to
Drop it off the office or something like that.
We'll drop it off the office
Yeah,
tomorrow.
easy like that. Can we get a stamped plan with a letter or something like that?
We'll have the letter that's stamped by the
I think that's good.
land surveyor.
And like, I just,
We can scan, I'm
How
sorry,
would
we
you-
can scan that and distribute it.
at the end of the day, all the paperwork looks right, but the truth of the matter is, even if they did, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, A. And I wanna know how you're gonna go out there and tell me what they touched and what was previously already touched. How can you do that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that could be easily proven.
How? How would you do it?
I'm just,
That's the fact.
I know the facts, Eric, I don't
And
need
if
to
you
be
can't do
made
it,
aware of it. And
if you
I know that,
can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, then it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It will not hold up. It just.
I certainly don't, I'm not comfortable with the amount of secrecy that, the
Why don't you?
owner
It
has.
does not matter.
It shouldn't have been an issue from day one. The only reason you've had to continuously come back here is because no one's open to inspection.
Well, then
No one was open to inspection. No one,
We talked about that.
that's the bottom line.
So
So to me,
Yeah, bottom line is,
that's,
we've addressed it, we've satisfied the commission. There's no reason for a permit request or an application for a permit. That's it.
I'm not gonna close this out, pending review of the documents.
We're not coming back. If this matter keeps getting discussed.
I'm not prepared to close this out
Oh.
prior to receiving a stamped
Yeah, we'll do it
document,
tomorrow.
okay?
I'm pretty sure
Then
you
you'll
can't,
review it.
you can't
That'll be
solely
reviewed.
do that either. You would have to make a motion for all of us to decide on
If
that.
you need to see that, that's fine, I'll be there.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
so,
We don't expect to be
that-
next
that-
discussion on it. or
that will
next
be-
Discussion on it.
that will be something to be reviewed. That's how I feel. So I'll entertain a motion that we continue this to the next meeting, pending the receival of the stamped engineer's. So moved. Yeah, document, yeah.
Nay.
I'm going to say no either too, because there's no reason for it if you've got it. I don't think,
Thank you.
I don't know.
So it's,
Just because
hold
they're not
on.
letting us go into the property doesn't mean that if they've got it already, I mean, tomorrow we'll just know for sure, but
Unfortunately, that's gonna leave us, what, 2-2?
Right, so it doesn't.
So-
Okay, so just send
So it
the
doesn't
send the
carry, but-
documents tomorrow, I'll send them out
Yeah, it
to
doesn't
everybody and
carry,
they can
yeah.
review it,
Yeah,
and then if
that's
it needs to
fine.
come back, it
Yeah,
comes back.
we'll-
If it
we'll
doesn't,
go
if
from there.
everything's good, like they say, we're good. Well, everybody will be happy.
So no vote
Right.
on a discussion item again?
Yeah.
I'll have the letter for you, hard copy form
Perfect.
tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Have a good night. All right.
Can I talk to you after the meeting, please? Can I talk to you? Yeah.
So we got,
Okay, other business.
so, just
No, he
quickly,
said it's-
there's a number,
he said
I'm not
it's
gonna
stamped by
name
the-
properties
That's what he said.
here, but
I heard him say that.
there's a number of, there's one property,
Something
EPA
certified.
is interested in doing a site visit, and I'll share that information, I may have already. And they reached out to us, I've responded, and I'll fill you in when I hear back from them. It was a hurry up and wait. And there's a couple other properties that may warrant commission site visits, that looking at aerial photography, when I was looking at this property, there appears to be some significant potential wetland violations. So that's just agent update.
All right. Okay, other business. Any other business that may properly come before the commission not reasonably anticipated when posted 48 hours prior to the meeting. Future business. The next meeting of the Conservation Commission will be on June 25th, 2025. Meeting is to be held at the Town Hall Meeting Room located at 122 Main Street, Acushnet, Mass. We're back at the old school.
Yay.
You ain't kidding. All right. With that being said, Joanne, I know I have one of the order of conditions in front of me.
Yep.
You want me to sign that and pass it on?
Yep. whoever-
Eric, you abstain, correct?
Yeah, please make
Okay, so
sure
please do not
that-
sign.
I don't have nothing to say.
Right, but that's why I just mentioned it.
Okay, so we got that, and Mr. Costello to sign, and I believe that's it.
You wanna pass that down to you and Heidi?
So the meeting's closed?
No, I didn't adjourn it yet. I do it after the signing from now on.
So here's, this is lot 11, lot 12.
All right, cool. This is lot 11. Do you want to pass them back, Heidi, this way? I'll put these right in front of Doug, he's the only one that's gonna have to sign them.
Been better than worse.
That's the best, man. Let's do that.
That's the only one I use, because I've always been better and I've always been worse.
This is for Acushnet.
Yep, okay, good, thank you for paying attention.
There's two in there, isn't it?
No, this is just a cushion. So this one's all set.
This one here, you need.
I gotta start coming back and grabbing it, like, oh, here it is.
Should be lot 11 and lot 12. Both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Are they separate, Joanne?
Yep, there should be one for lot 11 and one for lot 12.
Here we go.
Oh, Boston?
Awesome.
Okay, the meeting's still going, gentlemen. It has not been adjourned. With that, I'd like to entertain a motion that we adjourn the meeting. So moved. Do I hear a second? All those in favor? Aye.